Hey, let's talk about it. Fever versus Sky. Game number one. We know what the media narrative is going to be about after this game, unfortunately, but let's keep it strictly hoops. And let's start off with the Fever, who won in dominating fashion, putting up 93 points. Their offense looked stout, but their defense is what impressed me the most. They looked amazing on that side of the ball, giving up just 26 points in the second half to the Sky, who just kind of got stale at the very end, but we'll get to them later on in this video. Of course, let's start off with the Fever, though. And of course, Caitlin Clark, another triple-double for her. She was, once again, the star of the show. She often is, right, 20, 10, and 10. Granted, she did come in for that last rebound, right, but ended up getting, I feel like she was half in to get the rebound for the triple-double, and the other half was to get DB that bucket to move her up in the charts for the third most points scored in W history. So shout out to DB, one of the GOATs of this league, of course. But Caitlin, as I said, 20, 10, and 10. She had 10 assists. It could have been 15, though. There were a lot of missed layups from Aaliyah Boston, Natasha Howard. I think DB missed one. Even Michaela Tipson at the end kind of fumbled a pass in transition there. Caitlin, once again, was stout, did her thing, found her shot as well, hit 2 logo threes. But what impressed me the most, her midi game. She talked about that in the offseason, right? She wanted to work on her mid-range game, her floaters, because in points of her rookie season, when she got to that area, it was a little awkward for her. She didn't know what to do. She was either used to, hitting those bombs at the three-point line or driving to the rim, but in that between range is where she kind of struggled. So she wanted to improve on that in the offseason, obviously built up her muscles as well, and she looked good. She had like a step-back three. I think she had a little floater as well. The mid-range game looked good, and I mean, she's just adding more to her game, to what's already a pretty good player, right? One of the MVP favorite, I think the MVP favorite this season. So shout out to Caitlin, who also did well defensively, 4 blocks, 2 steals. Now they weren't any like swats or anything. They were kind of more like rips of Angel or Cardoso going up with the ball. Like she wasn't swatting them out the stands or anything, but overall did her thing. She's always had great hands as well. So no surprise there with CC. But my overall MVP of this game might just be Aaliyah Boston, because she was amazing on both sides of the ball. Now, she started off a little shaky, missing 2 absolute gimmies at the rim that Caitlin pretty much gave her on a silver platter, and you saw her head kind of down. She was getting a little frustrated, but they went to timeout, and Caitlin kind of consulted her, just gave her the confidence, gave her the motivation that she needed just to keep being in those spots, and she's going to keep getting fed, and you're going to get yours. And I think after that moment is where she really shined. She had a little dribble handoff where she kept it herself and went up strong, kind of reminiscence of a Draymond Green, and then she had a little pick and pop with Caitlin where she was at the mid-range, went up with a pump fake, got Cardoso up in the air, drove to the rim strong again. She even hit a three-pointer this game as well, and goodness, if she adds a three-pointer in her game, she's going to be one of the most deadly bigs in this league. And her chemistry now with Caitlin is, man, some of the best in the league. They've built up, a great relationship and a great chemistry on the court now. So Aaliyah Boston, honestly, the sky is the limit for her. She looks great, and defensively too. 5 blocks she got. Now she did foul Cardoso on like maybe 1 or 2 of those, but overall, still a great game from Aaliyah Boston. Natasha Howard as well, her first game for the Fever. As I mentioned, defensively, this team looked amazing, looked up to par, and Natasha Howard was a huge part as well. If I could put a word to her, it would just be menace. She was all over the place. Her size, her strength, her versatility, her length, her speed. I mean, she just has it all. And it's a rare thing to have in the W, right? So for the Fever to get a player like this is big time, because Natasha Howard was great, not only defensively, but offensively as well. She had a few moments in the post. I think she had a little post hook early in the game, which was cool to see. She put up her points. And at the end of the day, if you just run the ball in transition, or you run in transition with Caitlin Clark, she's going to find you. She's going to give you some easy buckets. So shout out Natasha Howard. Lexi Hole as well, I have her written down here. Just her hustle plays, right? She was such a sharpshooter last season, a great 3-and-D player. Shot a ridiculous percentage, but couldn't find her shot today. Sadly, she was maybe 0 for 3, 0 for 4, but still put up 9 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals. I feel like she's just always around the ball after a loose ball, or looking to rip the ball off a rebound. She's always ready, though. Had a few offensive rebounds, so shout out to Lexi Hole for player in a part. Of course, DB broke the record. They were forcing her the ball a little bit at the end, I will not lie, and she couldn't really get it. Like I said earlier, they even brought Caitlin in to try to help her, but they were kind of forcing too much, where I feel like if they just played within the flow of the game, maybe get one of these transitions where Caitlin has the ball and DB runs, it's an easy 2 points. Like, just let it happen. But it did end up happening at the free throw line, which was an awesome moment, though, because, the stadium, the atmosphere kind of embraced her, and she, you could tell she was really happy about it, and all of her teammates cheering. It was a really cool moment to see. So shout out DB. Kelsey Mitchell did her thing as well. A quiet 15 points for her. Also, Kelsey Mitchell, one of the biggest buckets in the league. She had a few early points in this season, or in this game, and then kind of, they didn't really need her to score, so it was fine. She had like 1 Euro step in traffic with like 3 people around her, and DB was in the corner like, hey, I'm wide open. Like, I feel like they didn't involve DB too much in the first half, and I was like, she can get to her spots, and we know DB can hit those three, like the best of them, whether it's open or in freaking or contested, right? So I'm glad they got DB the ball a little bit more. But let's move on to the Sky, who, like I said, it was a rough second half for them. Offensively, just a bit stale. There's no really creativity, no real spark in this team. Last season, I feel like they got bailed out at times in certain situations with the Kennedy Carter, who could just kind of make something out of nothing. They don't really have that anymore, but they did add some vets in, Ariel Atkins, who we'll get to later on. Courtney Vandersloot, Rebecca Allen, of course. Vandersloot just couldn't find her shot today, but I feel like overall her acquisition is going to be huge for this team in the development of Angel Reese and Cardoso. I loved what I saw from Angel, though, handling the ball a little bit more, being that lead initiator. When she got the defensive rebound, she was taking it down the court as well and kind of showing off her ball handling that she developed in this offseason. So that was cool to see her do that, and I like her having the ball a little bit more, but I would like to see her work in the post as well. But same thing for Cardoso, who I would like to see a little more involved in this offense as well, but I don't know. It's kind of tough when you have her and Angel out there together. Angel did hit a 3 though, so shout out to her. She only had 3, I believe, last season. And this jersey right here I bought at the Storm Sky game where she hit 2 of them, so maybe I need to be in attendance for Angel to really get her 3s up. But she went 1 for 2, I believe, which is good to see. But Cardoso, kind of a rough game for her. She got in a little bit of foul trouble, right? It's a tough offense to guard when she's going to be in the pick and roll, defending the pick and roll all game with Aaliyah Boston high up and whatnot. But I feel like she just didn't get many touches. It's kind of similar to what we saw last season, right? We were expecting a jump from her, but it was still a weird game. Now, granted, you could give a lot of credit to this Fever defense, obviously containing there. They got Natasha Howard, Aaliyah Boston. They got great rim protection down there. So it was not going to be an easy game, and it was a game of a big magnitude, a lot of tension as well. First game of the season, sold out crowd away. So it's always going to be a tough game, but I hope Cardoso can kind of find her footing a little bit, because I would like to see her be her dominant self, the one that we saw at South Carolina, of course. Now, we did see Elizabeth Williams back as well, which is awesome to see. Obviously, had a season-ending injury last season. I thought she played some good minutes, had some good blocks as well, and pretty solid defensively, a good big to have off the bench. Now, what I do want to talk about, Ariel Atkins. How will the Sky look back on that trade? Because remember, they gave up the 3rd overall pick in a lot of the offseason. It was a lot of, Olivia Miles. This team needs a point guard, and she's, the best one on the board by far. But then Olivia Miles decides to stay in college for another season, transfers to TCU, and they traded for Ariel Atkins. I don't know if that happened before or after the announcement that Olivia Miles was going. I think it was before, if I'm being honest with you. But Ariel Atkins, I mean, she played a solid game, nothing really too special. She did have the Caitlin Clark assignment, but it's always going to be a tough ask with the offense that they run through her, with all the screens and all the movements and navigating through that, through all the screens and stuff like that. It's always going to be a tough ask. And Caitlin she had her shot today as well, was hitting logo 3. She was facilitating. So it was always a tough ask, but that 3rd overall pick, if you don't remember, Sonia Citron, who looked damn good in game number 1, right, for the Washington Mystics. She put on a hell of a performance. She's just a day 1 ready player, an amazing 3-and-D player off rip as well, and I think her game just fits the W really, really nicely, right? And the Fever, or the Sky, could certainly use that type of shot making. Her off-ball movement was incredible as well, and they got a huge W against the Dream as well, where, they don't have a Georgia Amor, who sadly is out for the season. Aaliyah Edwards is still out for, I think, another 2 weeks, and this DC team was not a good team last season, but for them to beat the Dream, a team with Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray, they add in Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones. That's a good win. She made clutch plays for them as well, had clutch moments, got buckets when she needed to, tough buckets as well. So Sonia Citron would be looking kind of nice on this Sky team, but I still think Ariel Atkins is going to be a good acquisition for them later down the line. So I think the Sky overall it's a tough first game, no doubt. A lot of media, a lot of narratives thrown out, but just easing into the season, this new system, you got a new coach, and hopefully you can just let Angel Reese develop as well. I loved what I saw from her, like I mentioned, as being a ball handler and taking the ball down court, and hopefully just getting the ball more in her hands. We only saw a little bit of Haley Van Lith today, but I think she played all right. She had 4 points, gave him a little spark, which I feel like they needed. Maybe she should have came in a little earlier, right? And just, she gives you a viable ball handler, can run a pick and roll with Cardoso or with Angel. So cool to see her on the court now. But for the Fever, what to build on from this game? I mean, man, This team is legit, right? There was a lot of hype coming into the season after what they did in the offseason, adding in a DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, who we didn't even see today because she was hurt, Natasha Howard as well. Obviously, you expect improvements from Caitlin Clark as one of the MVP favorites now, Aaliyah Boston in year 3, and overall the rest of the team, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, so on and so forth. Their chemistry with Caitlin Clark and playing in this system, Stephanie White you bring in as well. Man, the hype might be real because that was a masterful performance by them. Like I said, not just offensively, but defensively as well, both sides of the court. And Caitlin Clark, man, she is the MVP favorite, I believe. And I threw a little slip on there as well. I threw some money on that because I just wanted to watch her succeed as well. But yesterday I was like, damn it. Nafisa Collier exists. Nafisa Collier, she's pretty damn good. I was like, there goes my money already. But Caitlin responded, luckily, with a 20-10-10 performance and a huge blowout win in the first game of the season against the Sky. Let me know you guys' thoughts on this game. And, you know, if you guys want to see maybe me do this for other teams, we saw Paige Becker's debut as well. We saw the Aces Liberty, which I didn't get to watch because it's freaking early for me on the weekends. But I will rewatch that tonight, and I could throw in a little segment for them in the future videos. But I would like to watch that game because the Liberty are my favorites to win this the title again, go back to back, win the 1 seed. I mean, their team is crazy. They got Maureen Johannes back. Natasha Cloud is now there. So we'll get to that. Like I said, if you guys want more content like this on other teams or on every games that happen throughout the day, hey, just let me know in the comments down below. Of course, let me know your thoughts on this game as well from the Fever and what you think their ceiling could be. Is this a legitimate championship team? And could Caitlin Clark come away with an MVP in just her second season? Remember, all W first team in her rookie year, which I think a lot of people just kind of overlook. That is not an easy feat, something that's rarely ever been done. So, you know, people kind of always get on her for having this hype. Oh, why is she an MVP favorite? Bro, she was all W as a rookie. She's gonna improve. The team got better. They got a better coach now. Hey man, the Fever, the sky's the absolute limit for them. No pun intended. Let me know your thoughts though in the comments. I'll see you next time.